In our Days of Our Lives recap, it's all about Valentine's Day as Xander moves on and Sarah strikes a deal. Leo also finally hears from Javi. Leo receives a message, Sarah makes a bargain, Xander works on his swing, and Chad plans for the future. On Valentine's Day in Salem, Leo goes to the police station to tell Dimitri that he believes in his innocence, even if his phone lists him as radioactive. Leo also wants to assist his ex because he still cares for him. They go to Leo's hotel room and start attempting to piece together the details of his abduction. They decide to go to Alemania after concluding that Vivian and Gwen are their main suspects. However, they must first determine how to take Dimitri's ankle monitor off. Leo tries phoning Javi after Dimitri departs and leaves a sincere message. In exchange, he receives a text message that reads, "I don't want to hear from you until you've made up your mind." It's simply too difficult. Dimitri tells EJ he will rise from the ashes after returning from the mansion. A covert love story, Brady acknowledges to Sarah that he considered getting her flowers, but decided against it to avoid giving the wrong impression. The message he was afraid to send? That he wants to spend time with her, which he does, as she notes, even if it's just for dinner at the Brady pub. Each of them acknowledges that they are anxious about how things might, or might not, turn out as they talk about the Rachel situation. However, Sarah notes that she doesn't want to look back on her life with regrets. After all, they agree to stay friends no matter what and pursue a relationship to see how it plays out. Brady continues, they'll keep it under wraps until it gets serious, at which point everything will be off the table. Gwen gets her man while teaching Xander how to play golf. Gwen makes comments about her grabbing his shaft, which is a standard practice in many forms of entertainment. She asks him how long he will miss Sarah and recommends that they vent their pent-up stress and anger and frustrations on one another. After a brief interruption by a displeased Susan and a hilarious crossover with EJ, they return to the mansion and make love in her chamber. A new romance on the rise. Chad arrives to Belle's house to express regret for not pursuing her more vigorously. He claims that it's too late now because he and the kids will be leaving town for some time. The guy still had time to save her from a sad, disgusting frozen dinner, though she accepts and appears to enjoy informing EJ, with whoever they come into contact, that they are going on a date. Additionally, they run across Leo, who gets to bid Chadwick farewell. Later, Chad promises to take Belle out on a formal date when he gets back. Miami nights, Philip notices Gabi's apparent sadness in their hotel room in Miami. She grudgingly acknowledges that she has discovered that Stefan is truly dead and that Vivian had him leave against his will. She now understands that Stefan was attempting to reunite with her because he still loved her. She sighs, "I always knew that Stefan could pass away one day due to his heart condition." Philip notes that she is Stefan's widow and not his ex-wife, raising the question, "But now I wonder if he died of a broken heart." Gabi promises to spend a romantic evening with Philip, putting aside her previous drama. Days of Our Lives. Kristen's errors bring out the monster daughter. Rachel's terrifying setback. There might be a frightening setback for Rachel Black. Will Kristen DiMera's errors unleash her inner monster and put her daughter in even greater trouble? Pulling Rachel out of Bayview too soon, against the recommendations of Dr. Gregory and Marlena Evans, was Kristen's first error. Kristen believes she is better than the medical professionals. Therefore, she has let Rachel loose on Salem once more. Rachel is doing okay right now since she is happy to be leaving such a dull and lonely location. This might be the quiet before the storm. But DOOL viewers are aware that Rachel was even thrilled to return to school and exchange Valentine's Day cards. Perhaps in more ways than one, Kristen's decision to kick Rachel out of Bayview too soon will come back to haunt her. Brady Black and Belle Black are already worried about how the judge will perceive this, but Kristen believes that Marlena's coerced approval and an outpatient rehabilitation program will be adequate. But according to Day's spoilers, there might be more worries, particularly in light of Kristen and Brady's current living situation. In exchange for moving into Brady's new home so they could support Rachel during this transition, Kristen consented to shared custody. Although Brady was hesitant to allow Kristen to remain in his apartment for a month, he demanded that they make it apparent to Rachel that they were not a couple. "I wish you luck in that endeavor. It's difficult to think Rachel will see this as anything other than a chance to encourage Brady and Kristen to get back together. Day's spoilers indicate that Rachel's troublemaking nature would resurface if that doesn't work. Brady has no plans to get back together with Kristen because he is now seeing Sarah Horton, but Rachel might lose her mind if she doesn't get what she wants. Rachel might even suspect that Kristen and Rafe Hernandez are headed down a love path after catching a peek of them plotting together. Rachel turmoil may result from Rafe and Kristen continuing their plot against EJ DiMera, as suggested by Day's spoilers. Regardless of whether a love relationship is in the works, Rachel might pursue Rafe because she believes he could end up becoming Kristen's new partner. In summary, Rachel doesn't need to return to society just yet, and she might demonstrate this in the not-too-distant future. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the second week of February 16th to 27th, 2026 show that Brady Black becomes romantic and Chad DiMera leaves. Days, romantic complications, and Gabi's discovery on Monday, February 16th. We have Philip Kiriaki's boosting Gabi Hernandez's morale on Monday, February 16th. She is now aware that Vivian Alamain falsified the divorce documents, abducted Stefan DiMera, held him captive until his death, and purposefully kept them apart. For Gabi, that's a lot to handle. However, she and Philip will soon be traveling to Miami for a romantic holiday. Furthermore, Leo Stark has come to believe that Dimitri von Leusner DiMera has set him up, and they agree to cooperate in establishing Dimitri's innocence in the DiMera abduction case. Xander Cook receives additional training from Gwen Rizczech, including more practical golf sessions that will eventually become much more hands-on. Brady's relationship with Sarah Horton is progressing slowly. He's exercising caution. They do share a kiss following their spontaneous Valentine's Day meal on Monday, despite the fact that everything is really difficult. We'll see whether EJ tries to convince Susan Banks that Stefano DiMera is somehow influencing him from the afterlife throughout their time together. Theo Carver and Jada Hunter are going on a Valentine's Day date this week, but as he sits there staring at her, he pretends to be with Gabi. Bad, huh? Jada, poor you. She wants to know where Theo Carver went after noticing him losing himself in meditation. Furthermore, he won't claim, "Oh, I was thinking about another woman," if he's intelligent. That won't work out well, especially with Jada. Her luck with guys has been the worst. As Steve and Kayla celebrate, a stalker lurks around. Alex Kiriakis and Stephanie Johnson are on their honeymoon as of Tuesday, February 17th. It appears like they are only doing it in their tiny flat. Although Alex is overjoyed to be her husband, the stalker is unsettling. Owen Kent is most likely listening in on them as they discuss future marriage plans and prepare to consummate their union. It's really unsettling, and this might be what makes the man act at last. Best wishes to Jeremy Horton from Jack Devereaux and Jennifer Horton. Jeremy is reportedly departing as well, although they are in town to say goodbye to Chad DiMera and the kids. He won't get very far, though, since Jeremy won't be permanently gone until April 29th. Another stalker episode could be the final straw that prevents him from leaving. At the bistro, Steve Johnson and Kayla Brady commemorate their anniversary on Heart's Day. Naturally, their most recent marriage took place on Valentine's Day a few years ago. A humorous movie was made in which they discussed how Steve was a creep when they first met, and how he broke into Kayla Brady's apartment while watching her transform into a negligee. They were acting out their characters, which was a very amusing little thing. You may view all of Peacock's humorous Valentine's Day films by visiting their Instagram account. One featured Sean Douglas Brady and Jada. One features Stephanie and Alex. There are many adorable young ones. Paulina Price and Abe Carver are also spending V-Day at a table at the bistro where they are toasting. Emotional days of Billy Flynn's departure. Chad DiMera leaves Salem. Additionally, Thomas DiMera, Charlotte DiMera, and Chad depart Salem. This is the last day that Chad and Thomas will be on the air. Jack and Jennifer hug Chad, and the children as they say farewell. However, Chad will say goodbye to them, and Julie Williams once more on Days of Our Lives before he does so. He declares that he will take a bit of Abigail Devereaux DiMera and Salem with him when he visits her cemetery, which is still unoccupied. Chad wishes his deceased wife a happy Valentine's Day and places a small pink conversation heart on Abby's grave. Then, when visiting Julie's house, Chad tears up as he looks at the wedding picture of him and Abigail. In April, we'll see a new Chad and a new Thomas. There is no information on whether we will receive a new Charlotte. Liam Selejko kisses Ariana. Grace Horton this week as well. This is going to blow Gabi's head off. You are aware that Ari's ID is a phony. She's having a good time. She had a relationship with Doug Williams III, a bad boy, and now Liam, who is older, a convicted felon, and has a child. This is simply disorganized. Days of Our Lives Wednesday, February 18th, Kristen versus Brady, Xander and Gwen spark. Xander and Gwen are in love on Wednesday, February 18th. They carry out the act when she pushes him into the bed and takes him off. But I have a feeling that she will value it far more than Xander does. Kat Green attempts to evoke EJ's memories, most likely those related to their Wuthering Heights link and the Italian hospital. Philip is looked after by Gabi. For these two, Miami has more hot stuff. Brady and Kristen DiMera also speak with Alice Halsey's character, Rachel Black. I don't think Rachel and Kristen will accept it well or respect his boundaries, but Dr. Gregory encouraged Brady to be tough with her and Kristen about his love life being off limits to their manipulations. If you recall, DiMera dollars espionage and escapes on DOOL. On Thursday, February 19th, Sophia Choi continues to joyously plot the demise of Holly Jonas. Sophia is enjoying every moment of her social media mess, which she is keeping an eye on. Even after spending the night with his ex-girlfriend Gwen, Xander's affections for Sarah will not go away. Leo and Dimitri must board a jet plane in order to carry out their plan to prove his innocence in the DiMera kidnappings. Dimitri is wearing an ankle monitor once more. Bond worth millions? Will they simply disregard that and let it go? Brady and Sarah attempt to steal another kiss, but they might be caught. Kristen or Rachel might notice them. Gwen also gives her friend Kristen an update. Both of them are likely feeling very satisfied with what they have when they catch up. Xander was in Gwen's bed. These girls are celebrating before their time is up, even though Kristen lives with Brady. EJ DiMera has questions for Rita Leslie regarding Kat on Friday, February 20th. Is he suspicious? Did something make his spidey senses tingle when she prodded him about the hospital? Additionally, I wonder whether EJ is curious about if Kat is being intrusive by asking inquiries in inappropriate settings. Dimitri and Leo on a mission. To find answers, Leo and Dimitri take a plane to Alemania. We shall see. However, it is made plain that Leo and Dimitri will discover they are not welcome in Vivian's home. However, we don't anticipate seeing her. For now, Louise Sorrell is finished. It will be picked up from here by her goons. Furthermore, I question whether EJ DiMera would genuinely assist, as he wants Vivian, not Dimitri, to suffer the consequences. When Gabi returns, Rafe Hernandez has some unexpected news for her. Before long, she might be rolling in DiMera riches. And to tie up loose ends, Madame Vivian's go-to guy, Ivan Murray, calls. Liam might therefore be in danger. Additionally, Ivan is conspiring with Klaus, the other henchman. The scar on his face belongs to him. Jada and Gabi talk about their new romances and how pleased they are. With those, things are going to go south. Finale of DOOL February sweeps, abductions, and the woman in the tube. The final week of sweeps, which concludes on Wednesday, is February 23rd to 27th. Liam must be mindful of his back. He might now be the target of Vivian and Ivan's attempts to get him to cease speaking to the police, given that he is holding a significant secret. Theo's crush on Gabi might lead him to end her and Philip's relationship. Tate Black observes Holly's downward slide, but is unsure of how to assist her. Ari is not a fan of Holly's behavior and observes it as well. Additionally, it can lead to additional stress if Ari pledges the sorority that Holly desired. Soon, Stephanie is abducted from her workplace. Jeremy is suspected, of course. Paulina is shortly shown the woman in the tube by EJ. Naturally, Rafe will soon burst into the lab and see the human-sized test tube. We'll see if or not that occurs before sweeps conclude. Finally, Will there ever be an update regarding Joy, Wesley's pregnancy? When she left Salem, she was expecting Alex's child, who should be born any day now. Days of Our Lives, Ashley Puzimis bids farewell to Salem, following many tears shed. Ashley Puzimis is bidding Salem farewell and embracing whatever lies ahead, a month after it was announced that Days of Our Lives had let go of Ashley Puzimis, Leo Howard, Raven Bowens, and Carson Boatman. Over the weekend, she posted on Instagram, saying, "I've been meaning to post, but that's definitely a wrap on Holly Jonas. After 222 episodes, an Emmy nomination, a lot of tears, and a cast that has become my family." Puzimis, who was born in Detroit, Michigan, was cast in 2023 as Nicole's daughter alongside the late Daniel Jonas. She has essentially been in the spotlight ever since, whether Holly is smitten on older man Johnny, falls for any e'er-do-well Doug, or navigates the difficult path to genuine love with Tate. The actress ended her tweet by saying, "Days of Our Lives, thank you for the memories." The next chapter begins now. Regarding his departure from Days of Our Lives, Boatman has also expressed his gratitude to the Daily Mail, saying, "I have nothing but love and respect for everyone over there from top to bottom. I've loved every second I've spent on the sound stages and in those hallways, so I'm concluding this chapter with mixed emotions. So many people, including myself, have shed many tears and many laughs on all those sets," he continued. "I am genuinely very excited to see what the show and my future hold." Days spoilers for the next 2 weeks. DiMera Lab shocker, Holly gets worse, EJ suspects Cat, and Ivan returns. EJ DiMera suspects Cat Green, and Ivan Murray will return. Here's what Days has in store for Holly Jonas, who will also grow worse as DOOL prepares for a DiMera Lab stunner. While Chad DiMera gets ready to travel to Arizona with the children, Gwen Von Luskner will spend the week of February 16th to 20th sleeping with Xander Kyriakis. On February 17th, watch for the departure of Billy Flynn, Carrie Christopher, and Charlotte DiMera, as they all have the same final air date. Theo Carver will make an effort to focus on Jada Hunter during their date, but Gabby Hernandez will quickly catch his attention. Meanwhile, Gabby will start dating Philip Kyriakis in Miami, where he might pop the question if his ring-related gaffe was real. Then, in an attempt to prove Dimitri Von Luskner's innocence, Leo Stark and Dimitri will fly to Alemania, where they will encounter several difficulties. Ivan, Vivian Alamain's right-hand guy, will return to assist in clearing up some last-minute mess. Now that they will both be living with Rachel Black for some time, Brady Black and Kristen DiMera will set some ground rules back in Salem. Brady does not wish for Rachel to believe that her parents are reconciling. Rachel Boyd's character Sophia Choi will continue to do all within her power to devastate Holly's world and leave her without anything. Holly will keep spinning out between the pill switch and whatever else Sophia has in mind. Back with Gabby, Rafe Hernandez is going to give her some unexpected news. Rafe might be aware that Stefan DiMera's signature was shown to be a fake, proving Gabby to be his widow and the rightful recipient of a portion of the DiMera inheritance. Since he will question Rita Leslie about Cat Green, EJ might also begin to suspect her. EJ might figure out Cat's takedown strategy if she doesn't exercise more caution over the week of February 23rd to 27th. Because of her relationship with Rafe, DOOL viewers are aware that Cat is a member of the ISA and collaborates with the FBI. We'll find if Ari Horton feels the same way when Liam Selejko kisses her, according to Days teasers. In any case, Holly's continued adverse reaction to the antipsychotic medications that Sophia covertly gave her would cause Ari and Holly's relationship to swiftly deteriorate. Holly is taking drugs that are causing her to act irrationally, even though she believes she is taking her regular supplement. There will be a big brawl at the dorm, because Ari will try to grab a hold of Holly. Ari may become suspicious and have those pills analyzed, but Holly will also lose it with Tate Black. Days must finally be getting closer to revealing who is in Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's lab's resurrection tube. Take note of how Abe Carver, Paulina Price, and Theo will be impacted by Lexi Carver's homecoming, as all indications point to her being the one. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, February 17th, Thomas and Charlotte's farewell, and Chad's departure pledge to Abby. While Thomas and Charlotte DiMera bid their grandparents farewell, Chad DiMera will make an exit pledge to Abigail DiMera. Here's what Days fans can anticipate from Tuesday's DOL episode, which will also feature some honeymoon fun. First, after eloping, Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis will begin their honeymoon. There will be more stalker chaos for Alex and Stephanie, but they will have a fantastic wedding night to remember. Kayla and Steve Johnson will celebrate their anniversary in the meanwhile. According to Days teasers, Kayla and Steve will have a wonderful Valentine's Day of their own, since they will spend some romantic moments together at the bistro. They will bid farewell to Chad, Thomas, and Charlotte before departing for Arizona with Jack and Jennifer Devereaux. There will be some heartfelt scenes soon, as Julie Williams will also have the opportunity to say goodbye. Jack and Jennifer will provide some words of support to Jeremy Horton. Although we know that Jeremy's last air date isn't until April, spoilers for Days indicate that Jack and Jennifer will hope that Jeremy achieves the serenity he seeks after leaving Salem. However, since Chad, Thomas, and Charlotte are leaving town, Tuesday's show will in fact be the last one featuring Billy Flynn, Carrie Christopher, and Autumn Gendron. Look for Chad to see Abigail at her grave, as he will be making one final stop before leaving. Chad will inform Abigail in the graveyard about his choice to travel to Arizona for a while with Charlotte and Thomas. Chad hopes Abigail will agree when he shares his news. Additionally, Chad pledges to always have Abigail and Salem close to his heart, at least until Connor Floyd makes his debut as a Chad recast in April. It will be a pleasant way to prepare for Chad's farewell, honoring the ride-or-die friendships of Days. Some of the friendships on the Peacock soap opera are noteworthy. Over the past 60 years, Days of Our Lives has created some enduring friendships. There are many of those to discuss, but today we will concentrate on the friendships in Salem that are on the line. Julie and Maggie. Julie and Maggie's enduring friendship is evidence of the strong Horton family bond. Maggie and Julie have experienced many things together, such as Maggie's decision to wed the evil Victor Kyriakis after Mickey passed away. Julie has been depending on Maggie, who has been widowed twice, ever since she lost her beloved Doug. Despite the fact that they are always there for one another, they do not necessarily agree. Julie and Maggie are still friends even if they have disagreements, with the one constant being that they are ride or die. It's a lovely depiction of friendships that have endured for years and are always evolving. Marlena and Kayla, though they are no longer related, Marlena and Kalia, who were once sisters-in-law, have a memorable bond. When Marlena cheated on Roman with John, they had a difficult time, but Kayla managed to forgive her. Ever since, Kayla and Marlena have demonstrated that they would do anything for one another. They even died together with Kate a few years ago, which only made their relationship stronger. In contrast to Julie, who is always urging Marlena to go to a bereavement group, Kayla has been there quietly when Marlena needs her while she works through her grief over John's passing. Even if fans of Days can't get enough of Kayla and Marlena together, we always know that their friendship is reliable. Abe, Roman, and Steve. Roman, Abe, and Steve are inextricably linked to Salem's ride-or-die friendships. Since John and Beau aren't there, the other three are the main focus of their friendships, which date back to the 1980s. When Theo was abducted and went missing with the other Demeros, Days viewers were reminded of the close relationship that exists between Abe, Steve, and Roman. Steve was in the middle, looking for Theo, while Abe leaned on Roman. We cannot describe the experiences these three men have had. Similar to Kayla and Marlena, we don't see them together very often, but when we do, it's obvious that their brotherly bond is still very much present. Chad and Leo. We never in a million years imagined that Chad and Leo would become more than just friends. They would be lifelong companions. Leo was a con artist that caused a lot of trouble for Will, Sonny, and the DiMera heir when he first arrived in town. But over time, the unimaginable occurred. Leo has made his mark at The Spectator, where Chad granted him a position after forgiving him and helping him start over. On numerous occasions, Leo has demonstrated his everlasting devotion to son Chadwick, and Chad has returned the favor. From being Leo's harshest critic to standing up for him, Chad gave Days fans one of Salem's greatest friendships. Leo will undoubtedly be devastated if Chad leaves Salem anytime soon, even for a short time. Jada and Stephanie. Despite the fact that it has just lately been emphasized on TV, Jada and Stephanie have been friends for their whole lives. Their fathers, Steve and the late Marcus Hunter, are the reason for their friendship. On several occasions, Stephanie and Jada have talked about their relationship and family background. The female relationship is the focus of these two women. They never ask questions and are always there for one another. Stephanie provided Jada with support and a place to stay after her relationship with Rafe ended. Jada was the only guest at Stephanie and Alex's wedding and has since been there to shield them from a crazy stalker. Leo and Xander. Leo and Xander's friendship is unlike any other in Salem. Others in town are unable to relate to the bond between these two bad boy outsiders. Fans of Days don't get to witness much of this friendship because it's more recent. Fans are left wanting more, though, because Xander and Leo's bond is so evident when they are together. Xander and Leo's drunken advice about their love life issues is one instance of such. It demonstrated their relationship and their support for one another, but not in the ideal way. The fact that they are both seeing Marlena and supported one another when she was unable to do so is what makes their bond even more special. Remarkable remarks. In relation to Marlena, her connection with Leo merits special recognition. In addition to being his therapist, Marlena and he have a close connection. Marlena and her developing relationship with Julie and Maggie after John's passing also deserve recognition. Days of Our Lives reveal that romance is in the air. In addition, Jeremy and Chad bid farewell. Some Salemites are thinking about romance. Jeremy Horton, meantime, receives support. Chad DiMera also bids adieu. This is what you should know. Spoilers for Tuesday, February 17th episode of Days of Our Lives. Celebration. First, Kayla Brady and Steve Johnson commemorate their anniversary. According to spoilers on Days of Our Lives, we still believe it was wise of them to essentially have a fast wedding without any preparation. For the most part, it has undoubtedly assisted them in escaping the wedding curse. We'll probably witness them reflecting on previous weddings and other experiences as they begin a new year of marriage. Additionally, given that their daughter is currently supposed to be setting a trap, they may be thinking about her as well. Spoilers for Tuesday, February 17th episode of Days of Our Lives. A vote of confidence. In other news, Jennifer Horton and Jack Devereaux send their best wishes to Jeremy. We'll see if they share Julie Williams' belief in Jeremy's innocence, or if they're only hoping he's innocent and that everything works out for him wherever he ends up. Will Jeremy return after the true culprit is apprehended? Or is this the end of him for the foreseeable future? We shall see, because despite how awful it has occasionally appeared to him, we are fairly certain that it is not him who is stalking Stephanie. We can say with certainty that they had best hope they believe he is innocent. If not, there will be more yelling and whining. The man must understand why people would wonder, even though we know he will not be pleased with the accusations, particularly in light of the facts that was presented. Spoilers for Tuesday, February 17th episode of Days of Our Lives. Like mother, like daughter. When Stephanie threw Alex Kiriakis a surprise wedding, she was following in her mother's footsteps. Even the date she picked was the same. She and Alex celebrate their honeymoon night now that the wedding is finished. Tuesday, February 17th spoilers for the day. Gone. Chad and the children finally leave town, according to spoilers for Days of Our Lives. We're very happy that instead of relocating permanently to please everyone, he decided to leave for a short time to spend alone time with the kids and escape from everything. As he bids farewell, we'll see Chad make some more appearances. Prepare for a moving performance, as one of those stops will be at his wife's grave. Bed companions, terrible trouble, sneaking suspicion, and a heartfelt farewell. There will be a lot of romance, excitement, some surprising events, and soap opera drama in Salem over the next few weeks. Officially, Billy Flynn will leave DOOL on Tuesday, February 17th. His authentic and relatable portrayal of Chadwick, as Leo Stark would refer to him, will be missed. Don't miss Flynn's poignant farewell performance as Chad DiMera. The DOOL spoilers for February 16th to 27th are included here. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives for the week of February 16th to 20th. After growing suspicious of Cat Green, E.J. DiMera asks Rita Leslie, his reliable assistant, some questions regarding Kat. As the pill switch causes chaos in Holly Jonas' life, Sophia Choi keeps frightening her. The big story is that on February 17th, Billy Flynn's last episode as Chad DiMera will air. Chad takes some time to relax in Arizona after saying a few heartfelt goodbyes to his family. Autumn Gendron, who plays Charlotte DiMera, and Carrie Christopher, who plays Thomas DiMera, Chad's on-screen kids, will also be departing the soap opera on the same day. Michael Rourke, who portrays Jeremy Horton, is also departing DOOL. How will Flynn's last day be incorporated into Jeremy's departure in the show? We also wonder if Connor Floyd's children will be sorest when he plays Chad. There is conjecture that Thomas and Charlotte will unexpectedly become older. Week of February 16th to 20th, Days of Our Lives continued. In other news, Brady Black and Kristen DiMera established some guidelines for their daughter, Rachel Black. Brady and Sarah Horton attempt to conceal their relationship in the interim, but will Kristen's prying eyes make it impossible? Theo Carver still has fantasies about Gabby Hernandez, even though he is out on a date with Jada Hunter. Leo and Dimitri von Luskner travel to Armenia in an attempt to establish Dimitri's innocence. Will their collaboration result in something more? Leo and Dimitri won't exactly be greeted with open arms by Vivian Alamain. To deal with them, look for Ivan Murray, Vivian's manservant. Gabby and Philip Kyriakis, meanwhile, are occupied with making love in their Miami hotel room. There is a lot of conjecture that during their trip, Philip might pop the question to the attractive brunette. After working up an appetite, playing golf, Xander Kyriakis and Gwen Rizczech take to the bed for some sizzling of their own. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives for the week of February 23rd to 27th. Regarding Stefan DiMera's signature being falsified on the divorce documents, Rafe Hernandez might have some news for Gabby. This would render Gabby, his widow, a sizable portion of the DiMera pie might be hers to inherit. Since she and Rafe are looking into EJ, Kat should watch her back if he discovers that she is working with the FBI on an ISA mission. Will he make an effort to woo her away from the case? Ariana Horton gets a passionate kiss from Liam Selejko. Will she tell him she's not interested, or will she be flattered? Holly's abrupt attitude ruins Ari and Holly's relationship. Holly will still experience side effects from the medications Sophia substituted for her skincare products. Holly will let Ari have it when she gets upset and fights with her. In addition, Holly snaps at Tate Black. According to spoilers, Ari starts to doubt Holly and questions whether she's using drugs again. In the hidden laboratory, DOOL is getting closer to revealing the identity of the person inside Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's resurrection tube. According to spoilers, Lexi Carve is the person that EJ and Dr. Rolf are resurrecting from the grave. The marriage between Abe and Paulina Price Carver will be completely upended if it is Lexi. Theo will be ecstatic to see his mother, of course. For the next few weeks, Salem citizens will be occupied. You don't want to miss any of the action at all. Days of Our Lives verifies the romance between Sean and Jada. A recent Valentine's Day social media post suggests that Sean Brady and Jada Hunter are now officially a couple, suggesting that a new romance is developing on Peacock's Days of Our Lives. A light-hearted video with the caption, "What keeps things spicy in Jada and Sean's relationship?" was posted by the official Days of Our Lives Instagram account. Visit Meet Cute to learn more. When asked directly, "Are you a couple?" Jada and Sean in the video affirm that they are together. They reply, Yeah, we are." Sean responds, "We got set up together at work as partners," when asked how they met. Jada jokes that my almost ex-husband or almost husband brought them together. And Sean responds, "My ex-stepfather," before they both mention Rafe at the same time. Jada says, "But, life has a way of bringing you together." "Yes, it does," Sean said. Sean jokes, "Definitely gotta be handcuffs," when asked what makes their relationship work. Jada laughs and replies, "Oh, baby," before the two leave the set. In recent months, there have been several hints about Sean and Jada's relationship. Sean and JJ were shown in a police shootout in a preview for the 61st season of the show late last year. And Liam, as the teaser heavily implies that Sean is shot. Sean and Jada will find their way back to each other in wake of tragedy, according to head writers Paula Quickly and Jean-Marie Ford, who spoke to Stephanie Sloan of TV Insider more recently. In February of 2025, after Sean's marriage to Belle Black ended, he started dating Jada. At about the same time, Jada's marriage to Rafe Hernandez ended when his twin, Arnold Feniger, abandoned her at the altar. After a while, the two became close friends, which eventually developed into a romantic relationship. Later, when the real Rafe came back from captivity, Jada tried to mend her relationship with him, but Sean and Jada decided to step back. When it was discovered that Rafe had slept with his ex-wife, Sammy Brady, which resulted in their final split, that endeavor finally came to an end. Although the most recent tease implies that a romantic reunion may still be in the works, Sean and Jada have most recently been depicted as friends. In order to further fuel reunion rumors, fans have also pointed out images from the show's 60th anniversary celebration that seem to put Sean and Jada in each other's storyline orbit. Ashley Puzimis finishes filming Days of Our Lives as Holly Jonas. Days of Our Lives actress Ashley Puzimis, who portrays Holly Jonas, has announced that she has officially completed filming the venerable Peacock soap opera. On Instagram, the actress gave fans a direct update. In an Instagram post that included a video montage and behind-the-scenes images from her time on the show, Puzimis revealed the news. "I've been meaning to post, but Holly Jonas is officially over," she wrote. 222 episodes later, an Emmy nomination, a lot of tears, and a whole cast that has become my family. Thank you for the memories, Days Peacock. Let's move on to the following chapter. In the comments, a number of Puzimis co-stars offered words of encouragement. "You light up the screen and every room you walk into," wrote Martha Madison. "We will be rooting for you every step of the way, and you will succeed in whatever comes next." Dan Feuerriegel added, "Miss ya, Ashy." Paul Telfer followed, and Hank Northrup said, "Such a superstar. My beloved girl. I love you so much." Marissa Reyes wrote, "Our paths were meant to cross. I am so proud of you. You are the greatest thing in the world. With you, I am eager to begin this new chapter." Jamie Giddens, a former writer for Days of Our Lives, also commented, saying, "It was a pleasure writing for you. I anticipate seeing you soon on the big screen." Supportive comments poured into the comment sections from fans, with one user writing, "I will definitely miss you. Days won't be the same without you, because you were incredible and added so much excitement to the show. I wish you the best of luck in whatever comes your way next. I know you'll do fantastically." Puzimis' departure was announced along with the departures of her co-stars Leo Howard, Raven Bowens, and Carson Boatman, as Parade previously reported. Even though Puzimis is no longer filming